Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Some hours ago, barely 24 to 48 hours ago, we all heard and saw what happened or what went down in Ebonyi State. How the Fulani Herdsmen, had a field day in Ebonyi State, that's in southwestern part region of Nigeria. A lot of persons were wondering, but what happened to the Eastern Security Network created by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Don't also forget that same Eastern Security Network who had before now have been combing the forests of southeastern region to ensure that it is safe, free and fair for farmers to go into farming for their farming purposes. But along the line, as some especially the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma ensured that they were not given that free rein. According to him, he branded them militant and actually brought in the federal might to ensure that they don't have a nice or smooth ride in Imo or any other part of the southeastern state. Now that the Fulani Herdsmen are, so to speak, enjoying their reign especially in Ebonyi State, a lot of Igbo people are wondering, then what is the state of ESN? Why are they keeping quiet now? Is it that they're dismantled? Are they no more? And all that? We're going to find out in a moment all these and much more. But before we go into the news proper, I would like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, the indigenous people of Biafra, that's IPOB, as at Wednesday, accused the Nigerian security agencies of aiding and abetting murderous herdsmen to kill Biafran people of Ebonyi and Enugu states. IPOB, that's indigenous people of Biafra, while reacting to the alleged killing of herdsmen in Ebonyi State through its media and publicity secretary Ima Powerful, said they in IPOB and ESN, as Eastern Security Network, are chasing Fulani terrorists, herdsmen in the whole of the southeast and the south, and we will spare terrorists when we will not spare terrorists when we get them. Okay, IPOB statement reads in part, it is now clear and open to the public how the Nigerian security agencies are aiding and abetting murderous Fulani herdsmen to kill Biafran people in Ebonyi and Enugu state. Nigerian security agencies are giving them cover to do the needful against the villagers in these two states because the Nigerian army and police in uniforms are actually one of them, and Nigeria as a country is suffering today. If Nigerians and communities want to be free from any form of terrorism, they must openly reject the Nigerian security operatives in the country. They are all terrorists and working for them. How can security agencies that are supposed to be protecting and securing innocent citizens will be providing cover for these guys to take down people of the southeastern zone? That is what IPOB is talking about. IPOB and ESN, that's indigenous people of Biafra and ESN, are chasing Fulani terrorist herdsmen in the whole of the southeast and south, and we won't spare terrorists when we get them. All right, you have heard what Ima Powerful has said, but this time around, we still have this general issue of fallacy of generalization. Much as let's look at this objectively. Okay, let's look at the train of events, okay, how we got to this level, and then find out probably the way forward. All right, two wrongs really don't make a right. Yes, somebody will always say, there's a general saying that the best form of attack is actually to defend. Okay, but let's look at this with an open mind. I could still remember some months back, probably a year or two right now, when the Boko Haram were having a field day, a lot of persons were saying, but I think from the government parastatal really, they were saying if any of them should repent, we should actually give them amnesty to encourage them, to become normal citizens. A whole lot of them just wake up and say they have repented, and I'll be like, when did they openly apologize? The IDP camps that are increasing by the day based on the activities they've done. There's no law against them. They have not been taken to a law court, found guilty for all the crimes they've committed against humanity, especially those whose parents are now in IDP. Some who are motherless, fatherless, children have become orphans simply because of their activities. But they were not actually, brought to justice. They were not brought to book, and they were given amnesty. They were forgiven. And a whole lot of them, after being forgiven, they were recruited into some of our security agencies. All right, one would have expected that being that they have repented and they have also been recruited into our agencies, security agencies, it would have been very easy to squash down the Boko Haram once and for all. But it's even getting more difficult. Let's see, they're actually the most in giving out classified information out there, such that security agencies are finding it a bit tough, really, to contend with them. Now, fast forward to the situation on hand, on ground. It's not as if, let's clear this now. We keep saying that what IPOB and ESN is saying, that all not all of them don't say that, because if you say that Nigeria should reject, let's look at this objectively. We're looking at this objectively. Don't be sentimental, don't be tribalistic. Let's look at this objectively. If you're saying that the security personnel given to Nigeria should be rejected, that Nigerians should reject the police, Nigerians should reject the army, then who's going to guard our borders? When situations go down in the country, who are we going to call? Is that not the same security? Is that not the same police? Rather, what we should be asking for is reforms. Okay, accountability. Reforms, accountability. So when you call them, you give that fallacy of generalization. There are very good military people out there, very good military people out there, as in people who are doing their job with trueness of one purpose: to protect and guard the sovereignty of Nigeria. Yes, not once, not twice. So when you keep saying they're all, that's fallacy of generalization. Is always wrong. That one egg is bad does not mean the whole eggs in a crate is bad. And that is fallacy of generalization. You could just, bits and pieces, pick out the bad eggs among them, and let them be brought to book. But generalizing, that to me, it's we may not go very far with this. And yes, to a great extent, if these guys have infiltrated some of our, then we have a problem in our hand. But the truth is, I do not believe that our military and our police are actually the terrorists. They are there to guide us. Yes, the challenge we have right now is corruption have eaten deep into our system, but I refuse to believe that these ones are no. They're actually the ones guided by law to protect the law of the land. But I always believe in every parastatal, there's always a Judas. In every organization, there's always one who does not always want the organization to grow. It's normal in every phase of life. Now, the only way out is not to close down the company, but rather to fish out the bad eggs so that the company may grow. Same thing with security agencies. I also believe that the military are doing well. The only challenge is we have maybe one or two persons who have decided not to, help, coordinate our military, and I know God will see them through. Same thing with the police. I refuse to generalize that they're all bad. I refuse it in all sense of the word. Maybe you have one or two encounters during the hashtag NSAS. Nigerians all rose up and said, and say no to SARS and all that, simply because of the bad eggs. And see what we are facing right now. Let's meet in that comment section. What's your take on this fallacy of general?